we continue with the semi-final round of the British Professional Ballroom Championship. In the waltz, 13 couples have been recalled, and they are 31, 71, 79, 104, 128, 148, 151, 198, 222, 242, 253, 265, and 272. Thank you, couples. The waltz. Thirteen couples have been recalled, and they are 31, 50, 59, 71, 79, 104, 128, 151, 198, 222, 242, 253, and 272. Thank you, couples. The Foxtrot. And in the tango, 12 couples have been recalled. 31, 71, 79, 104, 128, 148, 151, 198, 222, 242, 253, and 272. Thank you, couples. The tango. And in the quick step, 12 couples have been recalled. 31, 50, 71, 79, 104, 128, 151, 198, 222, 242, 253, and 272. And the last dance in this semi-final, ladies and gentlemen, the quick step.
And so the semi-final waltz, Pat.
Yes, a beautiful line, the artistry of the toes extending through to the top of the head. Victor and Anna.
Rising Star winners, and here in the semi-final of the Open Professional Championship.
Beautiful same foot lunge.
I must declare, Pat, I think this couple are absolutely superb. They display artistry and class and ease and elegance. When they're on form, I think they are among the very, very finest in the whole world.
Yeah, they're a beautiful, excellent couple. Alexei and Tatiana dancing a very nice foxtrot. Reverse wave with all the press and the rotation.
Lovely dancers indeed.
They certainly are.
Not professional all that long. They won the Rising Star International and UK and was second in the Blackpool Rising Stars.
Jonathan and Lynn, really comparatively quite a new couple, although both very experienced. Beautiful togetherness.
And into the tango.
Tony and Amanda. Quite flashy in that action with a very flashy dress. Yes, so very compact and controlled with a good staccato action. Italy, Roberto and Morena.
Just a bit loose in the legs occasionally.
Yes, they don't skim past each other. The legs don't pass each other sufficiently delicately. I think this is a little bit flamboyant for me.
Oh, yay. But very clever. Oh, weaving out to miss the couples. Some good floor usage there. Spatial awareness. Mr. Mackenzie, good evening to you.
Good evening, Brian.
24 years organising this festival, and I remember right at the start and meeting your mother. That's more than a year or two ago, isn't it? It must be about the first year when you brought her in to have a look at the dancing, and you've made some changes since then, of course, over the years.
Yes, there have been some changes. I think one of the first changes I did was the senior Latin was always on the Saturday with the team match.
Correct.
And as there are not as many competitors in that, we thought it might be better to move the senior Latin to the Monday, and we then started the under 21 year Latin championship on the Saturday, which proved a great success.
Well, all the changes, there hasn't been any bad changes, has there, over the years? I can't think of anything that's changed that you've made, all of which seem small and yet have been important enough to justify the changes, but have not proved to be really effective.
Well, there aren't that many changes, I don't think, but I'm just trying to think, actually, of one or two of the smaller changes. But at the moment, they elude me.
Well, it's the whole package of the festival is so finely tuned that a lot of people don't even know there's any changes have taken place. This year, possibly a little bit more significant because of the two Rising Stars events that you've introduced. Are you happy with the success of those? Certainly the numbers.
Yes, that has worked. It is extremely hard work because it means on the first Friday we have to start early in the morning, and on the Saturday early in the morning with the qualifying heats for these amateur rising stars. And then we have to work the whole of Sunday because the Congress, whether it is the Ballroom Dancers Federation or the British,
Congress,
the World Congress, they have unfortunately had to move back into the Spanish Hall, so they are there for both the Saturday and the Sunday, thus releasing the ballroom for these two new competitions. But it was a great success. I think we had something like 357 entries in the Rising Star Amateur Latin, which is extremely good.
Fantastic, fantastic.
And this means that your under 21 Latin or your under 21 ballroom can have two events to dance in instead of just the one.
That's right.
The reason why we had to stop the under 21 dancing in the amateur ballroom and the amateur Latin is because on the Wednesday, which is Pro Latin night, that is the busiest night of the week, and if you have the under 21 ballroom, the amateur ballroom and the Pro Latin, plus all the people who adore to come and watch the Pro Latin, then you would go well beyond the fire limit, and therefore we had to reduce the numbers, and this is the only way I could do it, by stopping the under 21s dancing in the championship.
But by introducing the new event, as you rightly say, they can still dance in two events, which makes their trip worthwhile because they come from so many countries all around the world.
54 countries this year.
54, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
What is it, do you think, Mr. Mackenzie, that has continually drawn our overseas friends and fellow dancers to Blackpool? We know that the history is a magnet, but it draws them every year. Well, what is the magic that draws them here?
Well, possibly it is the beautiful ballroom, because abroad there are not so many these type of buildings, and I think they utilise a lot of sports stadiums for their events. But also it is the history behind it, and we have used all British judges from 1946 until last year. And the British judges are highly qualified, great integrity, and I think a lot of the foreign couples like to be judged by the British judges. This year, though, we have introduced two foreign judges on the evening panel, one on the daytime panel, and one for just one morning on the Sunday panel. Now, this had been thought about very carefully over the last few years. Should we include foreign adjudicators? The last time we used a foreign adjudicator was in 1938, when it was Hans Buchler, I think, from Austria. So there are a lot of fors and against, and some people are very traditional and want to stick with only British. Other people feel it could be quite a good idea. So it is an experiment this year, and we will evaluate it and see what will happen next year. Possibly they might only use one foreign adjudicator, or none, and then go back to one foreign adjudicator the following year. It's just a matter of balance, really.
Yes, I've heard many comments both in favour and not so much in favour. And one overriding thing that I've picked up from our overseas friends is that one of the things that makes this event unique in the whole world of dancing is not only the incredible quality and knowledge and experience of the judges and their integrity, but the fact that it is a purely British panel of judges, whereas there are around the world very many very important events, but they have a mixed international panel.
Yes.
And the uniqueness of having just a British panel seems, on balance with most of the people I've spoken to be an added attraction. But one can't deny the quality of the judges that you've had. I have done an interview with Rudy and with John, and of course they're great guys. And
they are ex-British champions also.
Both of them.
Yes,
both of them.
yes.
We actually discussed the feeling when you open the first letter you ever get and we were comparing notes just before and after the interview, and I remember lying on the bed saying, I can't believe it. And Rudy was saying almost the same thing, because that is the absolute respect with which this event above all, and the esteem in which it's held. Rudy said a very important thing that has escaped me, and I think many others, the importance of having a separate room for the judges, away from the dancing, away from everybody.
Yes.
And of course, it's always a fun time, the discussions that go on there, and nobody ever talks about the dancing because you need that relief from the high concentration level. But you would agree then, I think, that although there's been some minor changes, it's still fundamentally the same now, 24 years on from your taking over the reins.
Yes, absolutely. Been all the same competitions, except for the two that we've introduced this year. We're still the same number of days. There's still the Congress every weekend, and we still have live music to the Empress Orchestra, albeit the musical director has changed, but it is still the same type of music. Not necessarily what everybody abroad dances to, but it's just the unique Blackpool sound, really.
Yes, 2 months before Blackpool, those of us who have an advanced practice night in our studios, the requests come in, can we have Blackpool music? Because it is distinctive, and they want to get into the mood, and there's this one CD that opens with the fanfare, and that everybody perks up immediately because they know that people are coming on for the first round, and they're waiting with expectancy to hear their number called. Of course, this is, for many people, a memorable but rather sad week, because we understand it's the last week you'll be the festival organiser.
Yes, the time has come, I'm afraid. 24 years as festival organiser. I was 2 years prior to that with Mr. Bill Francis, who unfortunately had poor health and died in 1981, which was the year I took over. And prior to that, of course, I was employed by the Blackpool Tower Company in the publicity department. So it's 30 years with the company and 24 years as organiser.
So what are you going to do?
Well,
all the spare time.
Well, I have various ideas. I think I might do some voluntary work on the talking newspaper for the blind.
Oh, how wonderful.
I have a friend who's been doing that for 30 years, and she thinks I would quite like to, or I might be an asset to them. I hope so. Thought I might go back to night school and do a language.
Oh.
But, and also I would like to do French polishing.
Would you? Why? Where's the French polishing come from?
Well, I've got quite a bit of antique furniture, and over the years, well, it's got rather hammered, I suppose, with my children and then the grandchildren. And, well, especially the dining table, which is solid mahogany, it really is not looking its best. So I thought I might have a go at that.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you're going to be very busy?
Yes.
Yes, well.
But then Eric does say, if you're going to be that busy, you're not going to have time to really do anything else. So he wonders, you know, how I would have found time to go to work when all these things that I'm planning to do, it's a good thing I'm retiring.
It'd be nice if you do the talking newspaper, because your voice is very clear. I remember there was a radio series from the north of England about dancing, and you did a programme for them, and I've still got the tape in the car.
There were several of us that did it, yes. And they talked a bit about my aspect of the dancing. I'm not sure if Marcus Hilton did one, and
I think he did,
David
yes.
Roberts.
Yes, that's correct.
And then they played some music in between. Because I think I said that I remember Richard Gleave saying that Days of Wine and Roses was one of his favourite foxtrots.
Yes, and they played it, yes.
Yes, I can remember that. Yes, that seems a long time ago.
Well, it's not all that long, really. Yeah. It's all a matter of perception. But I remember you said in that programme that you wanted Blackpool to be and remain the first and foremost festival of dancing in the world, and certainly under your direction it has been, and I'm sure it will remain so. And so, Mrs. Jill Mackenzie, I'd like to say on behalf of all the dancers here and all the dancers that are not here, the love and respect and affection in which you're held, and we wish you great health and great enjoyment in the future.
Thank you very much, Brian. Thank you.